Hey there, everybody. Eli Clark with OneBridge Accounting here. If you've been growing your agency fast, you've got a lot more clients than you used to, you get more projects, and maybe even you're looking to hire a few people, or you've got a few people that you've hired. But every time you ask for an update on your numbers, your bookkeeper is 2 months behind. You're making more money than ever, but your financial records, not so much in a good spot, right? So here's the thing. That's not necessarily a sign that you're failing as a business. It's actually more of a signal that your systems haven't caught up to your growth. So in this video, what I want to do is break down for you why your bookkeeping feels so out of control and what you could do right now to fix it. So let's jump right in. Okay, so jumping right in, I'll link this article below in the description. There's some great resources that I've linked here. I'll also try and put those in the description as well for you to check out as you're trying to figure out why it feels like your bookkeeping is always behind. So again, I want to reiterate that it's not necessarily a sign that you're failing if you can't keep up with your bookkeeping. It just means you're growing to the point that what used to work doesn't work anymore. So it's all about trying to figure out what system you need to upgrade to. And that's what I want to break down for you a little bit more through this article and as we go through this video. So it's important to recognize that this chaos is completely normal. When you're first starting your marketing agency, the bookkeeping is super simple. You've got a couple of clients, maybe you've got a couple of contractors, maybe even you've set up a QuickBooks or you set up a Wave account. You check in once a month and everything feels really great. But once you've scaled past that, I would say $100,000 a year in revenue mark, then things start to get a little bit more complicated. Maybe you've got more ad spend that's flowing through your account. Maybe you've got subcontractors in multiple states or sometimes multiple countries if you're doing some outsourcing. Maybe you've got retainers set up, you've got project fees set up, or even those revenue share deals. I see that with a lot of our clients, and that becomes really complicated very quickly. What used to work, maybe like a simple spreadsheet, has just turned into this monster that just becomes really difficult to handle. So your bookkeeper, whether that's you or that's somebody on your team or somebody you're hiring, it's very difficult for them to keep up using that sort of system because that system was built for a smaller agency. So most agency owners aren't going to outgrow their clients. They're going to outgrow their systems. So it's a good problem to have, and I want to dive into that a little bit more here. You can know you're in this phase of potentially upgrading your bookkeeping system when you ask your bookkeeper for a report and that report is 2 months behind, or they're just still catching up on everything, or maybe even 6 months or a couple of years behind on things. Another symptom might be you can't tell if you can afford a next hire, or you can't tell if you can afford to make this strategic move because you just don't know what's going on in the business. Things aren't up to date. Maybe even you're looking at your bank account, you see the cash that's in there and you're like, sweet, doing good. I've got plenty of cash to run the business. But then 2 weeks later, something comes up, whether that's a payroll that you forgot about, or maybe that's an expense that came in or a bill or whatever that is. And then that money is gone. So it feels like you're growing at this phase, but the numbers, especially in your bank account, aren't giving you a clear picture of what's actually going on. It's very difficult to feel like your finances are keeping up with your business growth. So the hidden reason for this, and I think mistakenly, a lot of agency owners think that the issue is the bookkeeper here, but really it's not a personnel problem. It's more of a system problem. As you grow, there's more layers of complexity. You have different service types, maybe different pricing models. You have more team members, whether they're W-2 employees or whether they're contractors, payment schedules. All of this complexity all this growth adds complexity to your bookkeeping setup. So if you're going to stay in your previous setup, like let's say the small one, it can't handle that complexity. So what you need to do is not just have somebody there who can enter the transactions to do the reconciliation, but you need a financial system that is going to be able to scale with you as you continue to grow. So one key part of that is going to be reports. So you're going to need reports that are going to tell you which services are the most profitable, what are not profitable. Maybe help you understand when you can make a key hiring decision or make a key purchase decision. And also how much you need to set aside for taxes. That way, at the end of the year, you're not hit with penalties, you're not hit with fees, and it's not this huge surprise of a tax bill. When you have your numbers displayed in that sort of way, you have a system that gives you that information, you're going to stop overreacting, or I guess start of reacting. You're going to be proactive and be able to lead the agency with confidence. So let's talk about a couple ways in which you can fix these issues. So step one is you want to track your profitability by client or by project, depending on how your agency is set up, not just by overall revenue. So what this is going to do is help you to see where you're actually making money and where you're leaking it. So that's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing is you want to align your bookkeeping categories with how you make decisions, not necessarily how the IRS or how bookkeeping best practices tell you how to do things. You want to set it up in a way that it makes sense for you. So whether that's you're going to organize your revenue by client, you're going to organize your revenue by service category, whatever makes sense for you, you're going to go into your chart of accounts. And your chart of accounts is basically your group of income and expenses that you've set up so you can break down your profit and loss or your income statement. You're going to go into there and you're going to set up your chart of accounts in such a way that it makes sense to you and it makes sense for your business. Step 3 is you want to have your accountant and your bookkeeper be talking together at least once a month. Ideally, have your accountant and your bookkeeper be on the same team. I know that's not always the situation that works out, but if you can, that's fantastic because your finance team needs to work together, especially as you're growing. They need to be communicating. They need to know what's going on in the business so that you can have the information you need as you continue to scale. You do those 3 things, it's going to help a ton to get your systems from like, what the heck is going on to, okay, I finally get what's going on, right? So if that feels like it feels like you're growing super fast, the clarity really hasn't caught up to it, then I would recommend taking those 3 steps. It's really going to help a lot. If you want to dive a little bit deeper and learn a little bit more about maybe some things that are going on in your business beyond just the bookkeeping, would recommend checking out our agency finance health checklist. I'll put the link to this below. You can download it for free. But what this is going to do is it's going to walk you through, it's 8 pages. It's going to walk you through a number of different areas of your business, financial foundations. It's going to talk about taxes. It's going to talk about a number of different areas of your business. It's going to help you understand, am I good at this? Am I okay at this? Or am I really bad at this? And it's going to help you identify some areas for improvement. So if that's any interest for you, check it out in the show notes below. I'll also, again, link this article for you to check out as well. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.